Hi viewers, welcome back. Once again, my name is Adeola Fayehun, and we are very happy to bring back our wonderful panelists as we continue to talk about this ongoing gubernatorial elections in Nigeria as well as the State House of Assembly elections. So I'd like to welcome back Dr. Emmanuel Anyasi. Welcome back to SaharaTV. And I'm very excited that right now we are joined by Dr. Brimah as well. He's a medical doctor, a political commentator, an activist, political analyst. You're everything. Dr. Brimah, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you very much.
And you know, I want to start with you. You've been in a very happy mood the whole day. And I'd like to know exactly what are you celebrating right now with the ongoing election?
Well, from what we are hearing, you know, it's a big party because I'm not an APC member. I will be their worst critic depending on how they perform. But today is a day for a victory for Nigeria, for Nigerians as a whole. Kicking out PDP is more than just a political battle. It's a revolution. And we are just at the final stages of a relatively bloodless revolution in Nigeria, and we are getting rid of those PDP vampires. So today is a beautiful day in the history of Nigeria.
So you not only wanted to get rid of them in the presidential election, but for you, you feel like the victory has to continue.
All across board. All across board. It's the same guy as, you know, if it's the governor in charge of the country. So all of them will have to go. You know, everybody who supported Jonathan, who pushed for Jonathan, who pushed for us to have more years of Jonathan and patience, they all have to go.
I see that Dr. Anyasi is trying to say something.
Yeah, to me, I'm not. I'm for multi-party.
Okay.
Multi-party democracy, and that's the beauty of democracy. And then, because if you go one party, there's a tendency for dictatorship. Okay, there's a tendency for dictatorship if you go one party. And therefore, there's some, in Nigeria, it's a matter of nomenclature. APC, PDP, are they really different? Because you can see the way they are defecting and decamping. So
it's like the same set of people.
The same set of human beings, PDP. And living different. It's just like moving from one apartment to another apartment, or Nigeria they call it flat. So what happened is, yes, there's some. Give it, whether like it or not, there's some PDP governors that also performed. So there's some APC governor that didn't perform. Okay. So we have to look at the individuals and their beliefs, their ideology. The problem with Nigerian politics is that people don't have ideology. And because they don't have ideology, they tend to drift. And in Nigeria, we have what we call the bandwagon effect. Once one party wins, everybody begins to roll with the party. You know? And therefore, we see that happening with Buhari's victory. We see everybody defecting to him, and therefore we begin to ask: are these people really genuine progressives?
I see what you mean. And you know, I'd like us to talk briefly about some individuals. Speaking of individuals, we all know that Mr. Nuru Ribadu has been contesting for governorship in Adamawa State. First of all, do you want to talk about where he is right now, Nuru Ribadu, in terms of his political aspirations, his political journey?
One thing with Nuru Ribadu, firstly, Nuru Ribadu is an opportunist.
Oh, wow.
He's an opportunist.
That's huge.
First of all, you look at Nuru Ribadu. Nuru Ribadu was the police, was a policeman. He was a junior assistant commissioner of police. Then he was introduced by Atiku to Obasanjo. Okay. And then he finally, when Obasanjo and Atiku fell out, he finally used the opportunity to come against Atiku. So the man has been an opportunist, and then even his rise in the police, he was from assistant commissioner. One day he became AIG. My father was in the police force. You don't do that. You don't just promote people like that. There's a disruption of professionalism in the system. So when Yaradua came in, Yaradua saw that there was a disruption in this professionalism and took him out, even though the civil society was behind him. But legally, what Yaradua did was right. And then he ran away and finally came back, and then ACM picked him up. And then ACM picked him and made him a presidential candidate. I knew from the beginning that this man is an opportunist. He's going to do, anytime he had opportunity, he's going to do the same thing. So when they saw the opportunity for governorship of Adamawa State, of course, he didn't care about whether he was against Goodluck or PDP. The man took the same opportunity.
Okay, and so hold on. Dr. Brimah, do you agree that Ribadu is an opportunist?
I'm just learning about Ribadu. So Ribadu was my hero. In fact,
yeah, and for so many people too.
He was my hero. He was one stand-up upright guy. And in fact, when Yaradua was witch hunting him, I created this website, Nuhu Ribadu Trust Foundation, for Ribadu.
Oh, wow.
And I was using that to say, leave our Ribadu alone. Ribadu is our hero. So Ribadu is part of the reason why I'm saying this is a very big victory. This is why I'm celebrating, because Ribadu's behind got kicked. Ribadu comes out now and decides he's going to go with PDP. Now, I take PDP more, a little bit differently from how he does, because this is very, very, it's not a joke. PDP is a sign of death to me. It's a party that brought death on the people of Nigeria, suffering and death. So if Ribadu stood and said, vote for Jonathan. Anybody if you're a PDP governor who doesn't come out and campaign, that's how he lost me. Okay. From the minute he now switches into that party to support Jonathan, he carried his weight into that party.
He was no longer your hero.
He's lost me. Then he now stands and says, vote Jonathan. The minute you start saying that as PDP, the devil takes over you. That's how I look at it. And if you see the things someone like Ribadu says, or Jimmy Agbaje says, you listen to it. Ribadu said, vote for Jonathan because we are in a situation of war. And in wartime, you should not change the president. You hear things coming out of him and you say,
how do you process that?
How do you process this?
Okay, so for you, he was your hero, but he lost your trust when he joined PDP. So I was gonna ask Dr. Emmanuel the same thing. Have you always considered him an opportunist, or it was because he now defected to PDP?
From the beginning, Nigerians, we jump into, we see people halfway and we just follow them. If you're first of all, you have to look at these people, where they coming from, their background and everything.
I see.
And then the same mistake they made with Jonathan. When Jonathan, in 2011, I carried a postcard in front of Nigerian House. I said, listen, we'll go for Buhari. Because if you look at this Jonathan, in 4 years, the Nigerians were going to cry. Nigerians will plead.
Oh, yeah, a lot of us then were like, and everybody didn't do well when he was acting
when he was even governor. When he was governor of Bayelsa State, this man could not even make a complete sentence.
Cut him some slack now. Complete sentence.
So the man was governor of Bayelsa State, and if you knew how the man did nothing for Bayelsa State, and you want to elevate such a man to a federal presidency.
Okay, so let's talk about Labaran Maku. How about that? Nasarawa State. Why are you smiling?
You want to say something?
No, it's part of the celebration. It's just celebration galore. Labaran Maku, Minister of Information.
Former Minister of Information. So in Labaran Maku, actually, he was thinking he was going to be the candidate of PDP. And then they also had the governor and the PDP candidate.
They didn't make him their
candidate. So. And then he joined ABGA.
Yeah.
But the problem with Nasarawa State is a very interesting state. If you remember that Nasarawa State was part of Plateau State.
Yes.
And Nasarawa State, they have Christians and Muslims.
Yeah.
And then within the Christian, where he's from, if you notice that they never produce the governorship. So Labaran Maku is now campaigning on the basis of that religion. And that is where PDP is going to lose it. PDP is going to lose it because they're going to split the vote between Labaran Maku and the PDP candidate. And Amakure will carry the day. But if you look at the election, the PDP, the presidential election, the difference was 50,000. And the invalid vote was 79,000. So it's going to be. So I see Amakure. Amakure is a very smart guy, a very intelligent guy. He's an engineer. So you know that Makure may...
So what about you? What do you think about Mr. Labaran Maku?
You know,
by the way, the man never lies, okay? he says it as it is.
You know, all the vestiges of PDP. I'm happy. I mean, I'm not calling the elections for a state, for Nasarawa State yet, but you were into PDP, you came out to do all of them. I'm just watching their exit. That's all.
I thought it was really interesting to see him being the mouthpiece of Mr. President, going state to state.
When I look at PDP, I see it as this cult. This, like I
cult.
said, it's a
Dr.
whole,
Brimah.
No, it's a whole evil contraption. This is serious. That's why Fani Kayode was a perfect representative. In fact, when Fanny speaks, you wonder whether it's Jonathan speaking. It's like the same spirit. The same spirit in Maku, where Maku comes and lies about Ebola and does these lies. All that stuff, it was the same. I think to me, it's the same one spirit.
But like I told somebody before, that Fanny is... Fanny actually won that election for APC.
Oh, because of the things that he's been saying.
Anytime APC tends to come down with their issues, Kani will drip them and take them back to propaganda and scandal.
Yes, that's the same thing Jonathan does. That's the same spirit in PDP.
No, but if
they all talk that way. The wife patients also want it for. So that's PDP. They are all the same. They are all the same. That's their conversation.
Okay, so I want to make sure that before we go, we touch on Godfathers, because, you know, this governorship election is very, very important. There are some states that it's usually somebody that would decide this is who your next governor would be. So I don't know, do you guys want to talk about Godfathers in Nigeria?
I think if I pick on that one, you know, Nigeria, we've won the presidency. We've won a lot of the governorship elections. We've gotten rid of these bloodsuckers. The next thing we need to do is focus on two things, in my view. The senators, because a lot of the senators are still coming in, are still the crop of the old, you know, these crooks, hooligans are coming in. We just had this video of Obanikoro's son, you know.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed the way they slammed the door on him.
I like that woman. It's a very great day.
We need
Kudos
to keep
to her.
We are all going to start changing, because we are realizing integrity is coming back. There's no more hooliganism. So that her behavior, we are going to see it across board in Nigeria. So we're very happy with that. So one is those senators, and two is the Godfathers. Tinubu, we have to. Nigerians now focus on him and make sure that he has we are grateful to him, and we may give him a pardon because he helped us out of this mess, and he has not been convicted. But it stops there. We have to make sure Buhari is the president of this country, and we watch Tinubu. Maybe he has to go on exile. I don't know how it is, but we have to watch Tinubu.
Buhari is the one in control, not Tinubu.
And Ambode is the governor of Lagos. 100% Tinubu has to watch. We're going to focus on Tinubu for now. While we run this new country, we're going to focus on these people. Make sure they are quiet. Make sure they do not influence anything. And make sure they only do things in a righteous manner.
I see. Dr. Anyasi.
Well, talking about Godfatherism, I think in a new political system like Nigeria, in a new democracy, the funding of political race is usually from people who have money. So if you want to run a race, like in the US, you tend to have money from donors. In Nigeria, you find that people who sponsor you are going to control. If you pay the piper, you're going to dictate the tone. So these are natural consequences. Until we get to that level where people can begin to donate money, then if you talk about Godfatherism, there are so many states where people tend to succeed themselves. Or at least you get a stooge. If I find it like in Ebonyi State, the Labour Party, the governor Elechi switched to Labour Party. Then if you go to another complicated state is Oyo State.
Okay.
Oyo State, you have those people, you see the two godfathers in Oyo State. They all have the money. Alawa Akala. What's his name?
I think it's everywhere.
Ladoja.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Ajimobi. These people, they have their own money. You know, but if you go to a place like Lagos State, and Bode and all these guys, they need somebody to.
Okay, so but what are you saying though? That we need to give the
Godfatherism in Nigerian politics, yeah, will still be there for a long time to come until.
But do we want it?
I disagree.
It's about time though to.
It's about time. We're in the 20th. Is it 20th or 20? It's finished. I'm not going to believe in a system that doesn't work.
If you go to Kwara State, for instance, in Kwara State, the Saraki calls the shot. If you go to Enugu State, Chime calls the shot.
So it's time we get rid of all the. In my opinion, the people's vote should count. It should be based on the people's vote.
But how many people, if I want to run for Delta State, how many people?
Then maybe I will go and make money first and comment.
If we have a new system, like if you check the donations that Buhari got from individuals, it was huge.
Yeah.
So if you have a system where those donations can cover
like Amechi, you need a corruption.
Well, in this age of social media,
it's because he's competing against someone who is dipping his hand into the coffers and bringing out 6 billion naira.
Exactly.
But so long as we don't have PDP that we are running against, we don't need that kind of money.
All right, I have to round up. Sorry, because I was really enjoying this conversation. But in one sentence, though, I want you guys to say the changes you are expecting from APC, because I feel like you've praised APC a lot, especially Dr. Brimah, but you should have some expectations as well. We need to hold them accountable as well so that they don't grow wings and become like PDP. So just one sentence.
We voted for General Muhammad Buhari based on his record. And the truth is, the Buhari we know is that dictator, harsh Mr. Integrity. General Buhari, I hope he knows that we voted for him, not some politician we don't know for these last few years. So he should just keep that in mind when he comes into office. That's
so
my
he
one
should
word.
be the harsh
That's the guy we know. That's the resume we saw.
That's what
just
you
the truth.
think Nigeria need right now.
That's just the truth. That's the resume we saw.
What about you?
For me, like Dr. Brimah said, we voted for Buhari. But again, we are running a constitutional government, a constitutional democracy. So we're going to rule within the constitution. That's one. Number two, the other thing is how do we grow the economy? Because they have so many things that what they want to do, but where's the money going to come from?
I see.
So if the money,
it's a major concern right now.
It's a major concern. If you're going to, how do you grow the economy? They have to look at how to grow the economy, how to create jobs. And Nigerian graduates, I'm sorry to say that most of them are not even employable. So you're going to have a retraining of these people, because if you look at the energy sector, the same problem they have with the energy sector, that the engineers that Nigerian universities produce cannot perform in the power sector.
Now, but whose fault is that, though? Because you spent so many years in school, and anyway.
Whose fault is that? That's a very cogent question. But you find that is why I will advise Buhari that please do not appoint professors and lecturers. Don't take them away from the schools, from the academics. Do not appoint them.
I disagree.
No, because, you see...
We saw a lot of professor drama during the election counting, by the way.
Jonathan is not a professor. Jonathan is not a professor. He never finished his PhD. He's going to finish it now, hopefully.
You see, what
did you just say Jonathan did not finish his PhD?
He didn't finish his PhD. University of Rivers State, Port Harcourt said that they can't release this thing. Your thesis is what you're most proud of when you do your thesis. Where's his thesis? He did not finish his PhD. Now he's going to finish it, hopefully.
Yeah, but the problem, why I'm saying that, you see, under Babangida, we had the highest number of professors as ministers and everything. And then you deplete the schools, the academics.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Of brains and people who are going to teach these people. And everybody, when you have politicians becoming, all these academics becoming politicians, you deplete the universities.
I see.
And then at the end of the day, you're going to have break.
So the topic of money.
Then we'll have some young people coming in as well.
Who's going to teach them?
We have a lot of professors.
I don't want to say that because I don't want.
And to the topic of money, just real quick, Nigeria runs on 15% of our oil earnings. So long as that corruption is
taken care of,
the oil that before we sell it, while we are selling it, once we bring that 85%
and we can refine it in our own country.
Nigeria is a poor country. Nigeria is a poor country.
Nigeria is not.
Compared to New York City, New York State, the New York State budget, compare New York State budget and Nigerian budget.
No, I don't think we should compare them.
You find that New York State had about 80 million people. Nigeria had
Right.
100.
They have a
I
lot
need
of
to
waste.
round
New
up.
York has a lot of waste. We don't have that waste.
Sorry
So,
that I need
thanks.
to round up, but it's been very nice having you guys. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure
All
is
right,
ours.
viewers, stay tuned. We have much more to come.